I've been given a few stories from just family members, friends, and people getting ready for this event. And a couple stories that were given to me were from like Head Starts, like around Tahlequah area. I have a family member who worked in a Head Start, and she was saying that they had like these two classrooms that in the middle between the two classrooms there was like a little bathroom that the little kids could use, and all the kids were outside playing, and she seen a little girl go into the bathroom. It had like a half door, and she could see the top of the blonde hair go into the bathroom stall. So she's like, "Well, who let this baby in here?" She said, "Here, I'll wait for her, and I'll take her outside." So she waited and waited, and was kind of cleaning up in there, and she could hear the little girl in there just playing around, kicking her feet. So she's like, "Now um, hurry up, so we can go outside and play." And she just like kept. She was in the stall, and she just kept kicking around, and finally she went in there. And she was like, "Now, come on, let's go outside." And then she opened the stall, and there's no one in there. And um, but she said she could just clear as day see the blonde hair just go into that little bathroom area. And in the same building, I believe, they had to make like a little area for the kids to play inside if it was raining or something. So they had a little slide, and the little slide it had like a little dark area underneath the slide where the kids would go in there and slide, and they were. It was her and her coworkers that stayed after. They were cleaning and everything, and they were disinfecting. And all of a sudden, they heard something knock on the slide from underneath, just like three loud knocks, and they were like, "Who's under there?" And they were looking underneath the slide, and all the kids were they were taking a nap, and so there was no one in the slide, but that they were hearing knocks from underneath the slide. And she still worked there, and there was another story where she said they were supposed to make this little area for the kids to like relax and read or something. So they had to just make like a little area for them to lay down and read. And so but there was no one there. They stayed after class and everything to set this little area up. So they had this real relaxing area for the kids to play in, and they looked at each other and they were like, "Oh, I think we did a good job." And the other one goes, I think so too." And all of a sudden, in between them, outside from underneath that thing where the kids could lay, they heard, "Me too." And she was like, "Ooh." She's like, I walked away. She's like, "I'm gonna go over here." And her friend's like, "Ooh, me too." She's like, "Oh, don't say that." And that was given to me from a family member. And she said that she also worked at a gym in, I believe, Marcoma. I guess there's a grave in front of the gym or something like that. Stories of a grave. And she said that she worked in the front in the office area, and she said that she would always feel like there was something watching her, and but she never wanted to look up and see what it was because she could just feel it though. Said that sometimes she would make herself look and she wouldn't see anything, but there was this room that no one could go in and out of except for one way, and she would see someone sitting in that room, but no one. When she went in there, there would be no one sitting in there, and the janitors that were in that gym would like every night they would be cleaning and they would hear the basketballs dribbling in the court, and you could hear like the weights in the fitness area like clanking together, and but she said that she was glad to get out of that place. But with the caboose area, I didn't get as many stories as I had hoped. But we were always told stories of the caboose out there on Possum Holler, and that we never knew how it got out there or anything, but we would always want to pull over and go out there and look at it at night, and we would find it, and you would always see like shoes or some little things inside the caboose, like someone was staying in it or something. But some of the stories that my grandma used to tell us was actually in that same general area where the caboose is, like across the road. There used to be these huge rocks on the side of the road, and there's a church that they would go to on Possum Holler, and like way back when she was young, they would they would be coming back sometimes after evening service. It would be dark, and sometimes they would want to cut across the field to kind of take a shortcut because there was a storm coming, and it was like pitch dark out there, and because there wasn't that many houses out there at the time. And when they got to this fence, they said, let's go the shortcut, but let's hold hands because we don't want to lose each other and we can't see out here. So my grandma was holding hands, and they were trying to get home as fast as they could, and all of a sudden this bright lightning flashed, and all her friends were up above her, like way ahead of her together, and she was back there in the background, just but nothing. She didn't have anybody near her, but she was holding something's hand. And there's another story that she used to tell us when I was younger about the same area. They had one horse. It was her and her boyfriend and one of her friends. They were coming back from church, and they had one horse, and they were walking back from church. It was night, and they were getting ready to meet some friends, and so they heard a horse coming up, and so they said, let's go over there and hide on that rock and scare him. So they got over to the side and pulled everything over there, and they were getting ready to jump out, and they heard the horse coming. But when they seen the horse coming up, it had like an old timey person on it, had like almost like I guess like a soldier. But she said that when they got a better look at the person on the horse, that they couldn't see ahead. That it was just a horse, and like part of the horseman that they could see on the horse. And they said that the horse that they were on just started like rearing up and like going crazy, and he rushed and got them on the horse, and they all got on the horse barely, and it ran them all the way home and almost fell over dead when they got home because that horse was so scared of whatever they were seeing in the woods out there in Possum Holler. And but she always told us the story of the headless horseman.